It's 6:40, and I'll call the Streets and Sanitation Committee meeting to order. The first item on the agenda is to consider the purchase of ejector trailer for the Solid Waste Department. And Lyndon, I guess you're going to tell us about it.
Correct. So currently we have one ejector trailer down at the transfer station to haul our trash back and forth to Sparta. This would effectively give us two more trailers. It's the same company, it's Spec Tech. They make the ones that we currently use. We've been using them for 25 years and we're still using them. It's a good brand. It's had some good longevity in it. So this will help us increase our operations and plan a little bit more for the future of solid waste in the transfer station.
And that was in your, it was in your budget,
Yes.
budgeted for.
Turnaround time's about 4 months on these.
This comes out of the solid waste.
Yes,
fund.
not general fund, this is all solid waste, absolutely.
So it's just the same ones we've had forever, the same company.
Yeah, the current ones we have are the same company of the exact same spec. We've had them since 2001, we still use them to this day. They're good trailers.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to send this to the full board.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
I think that's all we have on for Streets and Sanitation. Meeting adjourned.
It is 6:45. We will open a public hearing to hear public comment regarding ordinance number 2026-09, which is to impose a temporary moratorium on the acceptance, processing, and approval of applications for land use zoning, building site plans, or conditional use permits for data centers and high-density computing facilities. If anyone wishes to address the board, please approach the podium and state your name for the record.
I can be very brief. My name is Tim Binge, and I would just like to urge McNimble, as they're writing their regulations to deal with these data centers, to consider infrasounds. Now, developers of data centers all over the U.S. and the world have been taking advantage of the lack of infrasound regulations. And just to be very, very brief, these are low-frequency vibrations that are below the range of human hearing, and they're put off by data centers like this. So any town that doesn't have regulations in place for this is really a sitting duck because they're looking for places that don't have this. And most towns and cities don't, because this hasn't been a problem at the scale it is now. So as cities are getting up to speed on this, I urge you to heavily consider writing some strong regulations around your noise ordinances that measure low-frequency vibrations and not just the audible sound. So I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, my name is Alexis Whitman. Good evening to the McMinnville residents and elected officials. Over the past few weeks, I've spent hours poring over fire and building codes, talking to residents about their thoughts and opinions, and researching the Hicks & Company. It has come to my attention, as well as to many others, that the building for the proposed data center project has already been fined twice. The first time was in 2025 for pumping sewage onto the ground, and the second time was recently discovered for discharging sewer water onto the ground as well. This inability to maintain the property does not sit well with many residents and has many people questioning if this data center will be their third time's a charm. How can we trust them to properly maintain the project if they have already failed twice in less than 2 years to maintain the property? How will we be sure they will comply with the city's codes and standards? When updating and revising codes, I hope you as our officials will keep this in mind going forward. You should ask yourself questions such as, how can we guarantee the proper disposal of their wastewater? What facilities will the company be using to dispose of that water? Will it be local wastewater treatment plants? And if so, how often should the company be required to report pre-treatment of their wastewater? Once a month, a week, every day? How thick should the firewalls be in the case of an electrical fire? Should the 4-foot thickness of the firewall be extended to 8 instead? Where should the server room be located to not only ensure the safety of the workers within the plant, but the safety of surrounding homes and commercial buildings? Will we allow them to remove trees on the property, and will this disturbance of wildlife cause issues upon our next hard rain with the lack of retaining vegetation? Is the company allowed to expand this project after the codes have been set in place, and if so, by how much, and will the citizens be allowed to have a say in this as well? As I'm sure many of you know, a company's main goal is to make money. It will do good to remember that whatever numbers and codes you set to fight back against this project will be the company's profit goals. If you say they're only allowed to produce 20 megawatts, they will operate at 19. If you tell them they're only allowed to use 3 million gallons of water annually, they will use 2.9 million annually, and so forth. You are all very intelligent people who have worked hard to reach the positions you hold. I trust that you can use that same intellect to deliver the results McMinnville residents expect and deserve. If at any point our elected officials come across an issue that they are unsure of, call more meetings. We will show up in droves, as we have done already, and we will tell you exactly what we think, as we do now. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Kayla Nash, and I work in information technology, so I'm very familiar with machines and how they function. I had a long list, but since we're limited on time, I'm going to hit the hot points. I don't trust Hickson LLC to be responsible with their water waste disposal, seeing as they just got hit with a fine recently. They will say one thing, but their actions speak otherwise.
Is Constance well, it's okay.
My name is Kai Sage, and I just want to thank all of you for taking the time to listen to us and hear people's concerns, even if they might be confused about what order that we're doing this in. The message is clear that we don't want this here. So I just want to thank you all for considering the moratorium and voting yes on it. so that we can at least, at a minimum, do more research into finding how we can prevent things like this in the future. Even if the concern isn't the smaller data center that might be proposed right now, the concern is any possible larger problems that might come, any possible larger buildings that might come. And I just think that it's been great that y'all have been pushing this so quickly and into an ordinance instead to make it even more long-lasting and mean a lot more. So I just want to thank you all for your time and for listening. That's all.
Thank you.
My name is Ethan Sullivan. I'm going to keep it quick. I strongly disagree with the data center, and I don't think it should be built. We should continue with this regulation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. By chance, is Constance Eldridge in the audience? Or Corey Little?
Right here. Got time for one more?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Try to keep it as brief as possible. Hi, I'm Corey Lytle. I was born and raised here in McMinnville, and Warren County's been my home for almost all my life. The events of the past few weeks have given me a mix of emotions, as I'm sure it has for all of you as well as some thoughts to deliver to our community and to its leaders. The politicians present will likely recognize those thoughts as being delivered in what is called a compliment sandwich. First, I want to commend and acknowledge local leadership's swift response to the community outcry over this proposed AI data center. Moratorium is a vital first step in making McMinnville and Warren County an unappealing target for predatory speculators and, let's just face it, financial parasites on the county. That's what they want to be. They want to have the cheap and not cheap, but the unregulated and low overhead of a small town like this, a rural area like this, who maybe has run on trust a lot of times with local business. This is not the kind of business you can run on trust or good faith. It's just not, especially not with an impending AI bubble and crash. It is inevitable. What happens when we have a data center? It expands again, and then all of a sudden in 3 years, AI is a .com. It is, one of these hundreds of bubbles we've seen burst in our lifetime. And the three big ones that most people can remember in our lifetimes, my lifetime especially, since 2008, it's been devastating for this community and every community, but especially small communities like this. So I really appreciate that. The meat of the compliment sandwich, though, is I want to see more proactivity. I'm going to give free advice in this compliment sandwich. There's a lot of political fervor in this room and people who couldn't make it. And I just want you guys to keep in mind this is political capital. You need to spend it wisely, upcoming elections. And I actually did want to finish up by thanking Mayor Chastain in particular for jumping on this very quickly, joining the group, interacting with people in the Facebook group about this. I do really appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
And last, I just want to, and definitely not least, I want to thank Lilia Jensen for breaking this news, creating that Facebook group, as well as Taylor Hogan, excuse me, and Kai Sage for putting time in, a lot of time in on organizing all of this. So really appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you guys for listening. Thank you.
Thank you. We've got about 1 more minute left for this public hearing before we go to the next one, if there's anybody else.
My name's Justin Griffin. Been a resident of McMinnville for a long time. Out of the 27 years of my life, I've been here about 23, 24 of them. And just to be brief, since we're short on time, I'll mention 2 things. First thing, as of 6:04 p.m. today, over 5,000 people have signed a Change.org petition stating they do not want this data center in McMinnville. Then also, As I've conducted research, I found that there are major ecological concerns involving the cooling water. I understand that it's a closed-loop system, and there are many benefits to that. However, the downsides of that would be that they introduce biocides into this cooling water, which is to kill bacteria and algae. And then, according to Hickson's own website, they introduce propylene glycol, which is an antifreeze. This is colorless, odorless, and toxic to humans in prolonged exposure. Those symptoms of toxicity are kidney function affection, lactic acidosis, seizures, coma in severe cases, and cardiovascular issues. Even though it is a closed-loop system, it's reported that 20 to 30% of the wastewater is dumped when the mineral concentration is too high. And the wastewater would go into the local water supply, from my understanding of it. Along with that, I know people have said quite a bit about the noise. All I will say is, to put it into scope, it is reported that up to 2 miles is how far this noise can be heard from most average data centers. Some places in town would be the Magnus Library, A&L Fair, Red Road, Sparta Street, and places nearby as well, including the hospital. This noise, it can affect, see, I apologize, I've already closed my notes here. Prolonged exposure to the noise, it can induce sleep disturbances, hypertension, cardiovascular issues, and other stress-related outcomes. I'm not the first one to say that the people of McMinnville do not want this here. There are too many issues that have come up in research that show that this data center just would not be good for this town. And I do hope that you'll consider this as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. At this time, we'll consider the public hearing regarding the moratorium closed, and we will open a public hearing to hear comments on the 26-27 fiscal year city budget. If anyone wishes to address the board in that regard, please approach the podium and state your name for the record. Hearing no comment on the city's budget, we will consider this public hearing closed. It is 7 o'clock. We will call to order this regularly scheduled meeting of the McMinnville City Board of Mayor and Aldermen. The first item on the agenda is roll call.
Alderman Sally Brock,
Present.
Deidre Dunlap,
Present.
Steve Harvey,
Here.
Rachel Kirby,
Here.
Carrie Morton,
Here.
Carrie Youngblood,
Here.
Mayor Chastain.
Present. Item 2 is the consent agenda. Before we consider this, I want to offer an explanation about something. Last year, we adopted this consent agenda to approve things that didn't necessarily warrant discussion. They'd already passed through committee meetings. Since this moratorium vote passed unanimously on, at the last called meeting, it is in the consent agenda. So it is going to be voted on before we get to public comment. So anybody is still welcome to give comment in the recognition of visitors section, but just know that that will already be voted on by the time we get there. So item 2 on the agenda is the consent agenda. This will include minutes of the May 26th regular session and the June 3rd special called session. If there are no requests for additions, corrections, or deletions, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as read.
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Carrie Morton,
Second.
second by Ms. Sally Brock. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. So again, that moratorium just passed on its second reading, so it is now in effect. Well, item 3 is recognition of visitors. If anyone wishes to address the board, please approach the podium and state your name for the record. Is there anybody out there that wants to? A little bit of a delay.
Can I just say one thing?
Absolutely.
Since there was so rushed earlier, the infrasound issue, I think it's, can elaborate on this, it creates a lot of health issues, from nausea, constant headaches, insomnia, anxiety. So these are things that we want to be aware of, because that's, the infrasounds affect the body that way. Sorry, I just wanted to get that out there.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, my name is Marion. I'm new to your area. I'm sure you've already heard how most of your people feel about water usage of data centers, noise pollution, other pollution to the environment. What I'm here to remind everybody about is I feel like people are feeling helpless, like if you vote against them, they have no power. But I want to remind you that this room and that room is full of voters. Every one of these people has an opportunity to speak to you for 3 minutes. If you multiply that 3 minutes by every one of these people, that's a large chunk of your salary and time being used and wasted because you decided possibly to go against what your voters want you to do. So I would just like to remind you voters that you have power and they don't have power. We just need to use it and take it back. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anybody else?
Can you increase your volume at all? Because it's very hard to hear.
I'll just try to talk louder, I'm sorry.
It's everybody though.
Yeah.
My name is Peggy Nash. I think there would be a lot of problems, and they're gonna come in here, these big corporations, and they're gonna promise you the moon and a lot of money. And I know a little town could use it in helping progress and make things happen, bringing more tourists and things. The only thing it is you got a lot of folks out here. We're a little city hometown, nursery capital of the world, and our grandchildren and great-grandchildren, if there's any pollutions, gonna affect them. We're already dealing with chemicals anyway. My mother died, lived here all her life, stage 4, cancer. that's caused from chemicals. Died 23, April 1st, 2023. And I know because it was told to my face, and I was her hospice person. I'm asking and begging you to consider not to take a bribe from these big corporations. Think about your hometown people, your small businesses. And think of a woman that's standing here right today that has watched a mother go down to the chemical cancer. And also works 3 jobs. Generations Transportation, Lord, you know me. McDonald's part-time, and 2 days a week cleaning an office. And on call in the emergency room every 3 weeks. Now that's 3 jobs now because of the economy of COVID started, where other countries are coming at us. That was a made-up virus, I guarantee it, to kill out our populations all over the world. All I can say is, Jesus can only heal this. Okay? And I will also say this. For me, 53 years old, 54-year-old next month, will I ever see my retirement? Because the economy is so bad now that the expensive for groceries, you go in and buy a pack of hamburger meat is $25, $30. Eggs so high, and a lot is price gouging, gas and everything. You bring this in here, they're going to up everything. And guess what's going to happen? A lot of you still sitting at this table right here are going to have to go out and get your job because your Social Security is not going to pay your bills. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lilia Jensen, and I would like to thank you for supporting the temporary moratorium. This action demonstrates thoughtful leadership and commitment to responsible planning. Tonight's vote is not the end of the conversation. It is the beginning of an important process. The moratorium provides our community with opportunity to gather facts, engage residents, consult experts, and carefully evaluate what regulations and safeguards may be necessary moving forward. During this period, I encourage local officials to examine zoning options, infrastructure requirements, environmental protections, emergency response capabilities, water resource management, noise standards, and energy impacts associated with AI data centers and from similar facilities. I also encourage continued transparency and public engagement throughout this process. Residents deserve opportunities to ask questions, review information, and participate in discussions about decisions that could shape the future of Warren County and the city of McMinnville. Regardless of where people stand on this issue, I believe we all share the same goal: protecting our community while making informed decisions about the future growth and development. Thank you for taking the time to slow down, gather information, and ensure that any future decisions are made with the best interests of our residents, businesses, farmers, and future generations in mind. Thank you for your service and dedication to our community.
Thank you.
So I'd like to touch back around on the water resource issue. They claim a continuous and closed loop, and that's fine and all, but what they don't mention is that even on a closed loop, that still has to be changed. The bigger it is, the more it runs, the more frequent changes. So what are they going to do with that waste product? Sorry.
All right, last call for recognition of visitors. All right, hearing none, we will move on to item 4, petitions. There are none. Item 5 is discussion items. Item 5A and then subsequent subsections are in regards to downtown street closures through the end of 2026. Subsection 1 is 4th of July, 2 is Autumn Street Fair, 3 is the Homecoming Parade and Pep Rally, 4 is Downtown Trick or Treat. 5 is Flip the Switch. 6 is Annual Christmas Parade. And 7 is the second Saturday for Christmas. Oh, Sean.
Yeah, so we have all the events. At the next meeting, there'll be 2 more events that we just didn't quite get the applications in time for this meeting. Both of those are junior auxiliaries. That'll be the Sip and Save in September, and then Christmas in the park in December.
Okay.
Again, those will come at the next meeting. All these events are annual. They're going to be pretty much staying the same as last year. The only difference with 4th of July this year is Main Street is asking for a 2-hour additional road closure. We normally open back up at 12. They wanted to extend that to 2 p.m. in celebration of the 250th celebration and just have a little bit more events downtown for that extra 2 hours. That's going to be the bathtub races and a couple other events that they would like to add with that.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's going to be open anyway.
Yeah, and then Autumn Street Fair again this year will close at 7:30 instead of 8 p.m. That half hour gives them time and helps with the police to get the cars out of Main Street and off the area before they start letting vendors in, so we don't have quite so much hassle getting those in and out. The Main Street Live is a typical every year. The other one, 11 amp series on this one is a little bit different. That'll be at the lot across the street here. They're just asking to close down South Court Square and then a portion of that far lane just for any bystanders kind of standing in that area, just about halfway down the road. Outside of that, it won't be a full road closure, or should not have a very minimal effect, if any. And last is the library. They're going to have next week their flag raising ceremony to close the one lane just for safety, as the fire department will have the truck there to go up and set the flag.
Okay. The only question I have is about item C, the Leave It Amp music series, because I have heard from a couple of business owners downtown concerned about closing. I mean, it looked like on the documents from community development that they were closing Main Street from, well.
It'd be from the end of this South Court Square, just about halfway down towards Springs.
But it's just one lane?
And it's just the
though?
one lane,
Okay.
yes. Yes, it
Okay.
would not be that whole area. no.
Okay.
So how many total closures do we have?
Full road closures
Yeah.
is going to be all but pretty much the library, Main Street Live, and 11.
So 9, these 7 plus 2 more, or?
Yeah, and then the 2 Christmas at the park and Sip and Savor would be full road closures.
Does anybody think that's too many? No?
I mean, all the ones in section A are ones we've done for years and years.
Not second Saturday, Christmas.
Yeah, that's a new one.
That one is not the full road closure. That's going to be South Court Square. They have the carriage rise, a few other things.
Okay.
It's not a full road closure. So that one's just a partial.
And then the library event, just again, it's gonna be where?
It'll just be if you're heading this way, it'll be the left lane,
Okay.
just right in front of the library
Okay.
there, just to make sure that there's safety for the firefighters as they go up and set the flag.
What time will that take place?
9:30 to 10:30.
In the morning? Okay.
It's a pretty short week.
All right. I will entertain a motion to approve the listed road closures.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Ms. Carrie Youngblood,
Second.
second by Ms. Carrie Morton. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None. Motion passes. Item 6 is action items. Item 6A is ordinance number 2026-06, an ordinance of the City of McMinnville adopting the annual budget and tax rate for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2026, and ending June 30, 2027. This is the final reading. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Sally Brock, a second by Mr. Steve Harvey. Any questions or discussion? Did you want to mention the Parks and Rec Jungle Gym money?
On page 108, that moved from last meeting, the 37,298 for the Jungle Gym. I wanted to confirm that that is where it's supposed to be versus if it should be down in capital so we can save it for future. which would be Dover on page 109. It doesn't change the ordinance at all, the amount doesn't change. One is spent before June 30, 2027. The other would be putting it into an account similar to what we're doing for the fire and police. In the future, we could invest that in a larger capital project.
And that's a safer place to put it.
Okay.
In the capital account.
That's what I wanted to make sure of. Okay.
I feel like, but I'm just one, but yeah. That way it doesn't get lost in the melee or used for something else.
I don't think that's an official amendment. It doesn't change anything in the ordinance, but I wanted to.
Yeah, we'll just let the record reflect that it's moving from line item 265 to 976, but there is no change to the overall budget, so. I have a motion and a second. Is there any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote.
Sally Broad? Yes. Steve Harvey?
Yes.
Deidre Dunlap?
Aye.
Carrie Youngblood?
Yes.
Rachel Kirby?
Yes.
Carrie Morton?
Yes.
Mayor Chastain?
Aye, motion passes. Item 6B is ordinance number 2026-10, an ordinance of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the City of McMinnville relative to the reestablishment of general curfew for minors. This is the first reading. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Ms. Carrie Youngblood,
Second.
second by Mr. Steve Harvey. Is Nicole here? or-
She's in the other room.
Okay.
Just go back real quick. There was a curfew when we redid the code. I think it just got overlooked and missed, and so this is just reestablishing back that inside the code. So we did have one for a long time, and we did that city update from the big code perspective, and I think it just got left out. So this is just reestablishing that.
All right. Any questions?
What time?
It's 11 p.m. Monday through Thursday. No, Sunday through Thursday, and 12 Friday and Saturday.
Friday through Sunday, 12
Midnight.
to 6 a.m.
So we basically always had it, we just accidentally left it off.
Yes, that's my understanding, yeah.
That's correct.
Would there be any need for any changes in it? I mean,
We've
That's been
adopted,
unlocked.
we've adopted this,
pardon?
we adopted the state code, so,
Oh, okay.
Are we having any problems with rowdy minors?
We don't typically, because there is a curfew, or was a curfew.
Yeah.
And so that helps out, because, past certain times, there's really no good reason to be out running around in the middle of the night. Because we have problems with, at the parking lots, they'll sit there and of course, the business owners complain if they throw the trash out, and, it's just a few can spoil it for a whole bunch. And what we've done is the curfew, when it got inadvertently left out, what we've done is tweaked it a little bit, which is state law. It's exactly what the state law is, and the times are like 17, if you're 17, it's Monday through Thursday, you can be out till 11. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's 12 to 6 a.m. If you're 16 and under, it's 10 through the week, and then it is 11 on the weekend. But there's a lot of exceptions in there if they're school function, work, or with a parent, and things like that. And even exception if you're at your house and you're standing on the sidewalk, you're good to go. But kids will be kids sometimes, and that's kind of we have them. They do run around at night, and it gets summertime, and they like to be outside.
But you feel like it's adequate?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote.
Carrie Youngblood?
Yes.
Steve Harvey?
Yes.
Rachel Kirby?
Yes.
Carrie Morton?
Yes.
Sally Brock?
Yes.
Deidre Dunlap?
Aye.
Mayor Chastain?
Aye, motion passes. Item 6C is ordinance number 2026-11, an ordinance of the City of McMinnville to amend and update Title 10 of the Animal Control Municipal Code and set the time for this ordinance to become effective. This is the first reading. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Carrie Morton,
Second.
second by Ms. Rachel Kirby. Linden?
So this takes away some of our verbiage that was accidentally put in there. My favorite one that was put in was Wherever in this title dogs are referred to, it shall also include cats. We're moving that. We don't handle cats. We're not equipped to handle cats, so we need that taken out. It gives the impression that we can handle cats. And then you've got some more unintended inclusions, such as a registration program. We don't currently operate that. We don't have the capacity to have a registration program. And not meaning rabies registration, but just registering your dogs in the city. We don't have the capacity to enforce that or incorporate that either.
So back up to the cats. You said you're taking it out that says,
Yeah, it was unintentionally put in there, and it shouldn't have been.
we don't do anything about cats, is that right?
No, we do nothing with cats.
Used to.
Years
City
ago,
used to pick
we
up
did.
cats.
Yes, but not anymore. Now it's straight dogs. We don't have a pen or anything to put cats in. We have nothing to do with cats.
The reason I asked is I had a call from a business owner, and they have a real problem. People, feral cats next door, they're getting fed by the neighbors, and then they're all over their business and the neighbor's business, and then they don't know what to do.
Even the county won't take the cats. Unless the cats are domesticated and are surrendered, the county won't take them either.
I agree with Steve. I think it is a problem.
I
I
agree.
understand that you're not equipped at the moment, but I think we should consider in the future looking into that because it's not going to resolve itself.
I agree. It's not, but yeah, we just don't have the capacity to handle cats in our facility at all. We don't have anything there for them.
Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote.
Carrie Morton,
Yes.
Rachel Kirby,
Yes.
Deidre Dunlap,
Aye.
Steve Harvey,
Yes.
Carrie Youngblood,
Yes.
Sally Brock,
Yes.
Mayor Chastain.
Aye, motion passes. Item 7 is recognition of employees and departmental reports. If anyone wishes to give any updates from the departments, come on up.
Yeah. I just got two things, and I'll be brief. Back on to cats.
Yes.
We just recently closed our animal friendly grants with the state, and we were able to spay and neuter 12 dogs and cats. In all of Warren County, not just Seaweed-Minville. We actually extended to Warren County residents as well to help those in need and those that may have cats and dogs. So we didn't get a whole lot of money, but we're able to get 12 dogs and cats spayed and neutered with the Linda McGee Spay and Neuter program. Hoping to keep it going for next year. We even got the money back already from the state for reimbursement, so that was a nice turnaround on their end as well. Secondly, you guys voted to do the TDOT reconfiguration on Chancery Street and Main Street. I talked to TDOT yesterday. It should happen either by the end of this month or beginning in July. So it's coming fast. And if you were downtown earlier, you would have saw a bunch of hay in the road. Or if somebody was trying to make the cut. So hopefully this would help alleviate and not congest everything up with hay as well. It's coming sooner rather than later. Just FYI.
Thank you.
Good, thank you.
Mr. Ming, do you have any?
I think Mr. Garrett might have something.
Sean, you're looking like you want to say something.
Are we on the reports yet?
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. I'll make this brief, and then we'll get out of here. This is a little bit of brief report, covers the background, the history, the action that was taken, including the second reading of the moratorium tonight, and next steps moving forward. So this month, we will be setting up 2 town halls to continue the discussion regarding data centers, what options we have, how we want to proceed forward, possible regulations, all of that stuff. First one will be June 22nd, right here at City Hall, 6 p.m. June 25th will be the next one. After those two, we'll see about scheduling more and moving forward on that. By Friday, this Friday, we will have everything up on the project hub. That is on the city website. All the information, including this report that you guys have, any research we get, any possible regs, options, all that stuff will be on that one spot so that everybody can quickly and easily access that, and that way it'll be shared quickly. It'll all be right there. As this proceeds forward, I'll be talking with the planning commission once it gets time to those regs. We'll have all the public hearings. Again, all that will be on the project hub. You can move forward, show up to the town halls. The public will be very involved in this as we proceed forward to address this in the best manner we can. That's all I have.
When did you say
Thank
that?
June 22nd. She has a question.
They were June 22nd and the 25th?
Yes,
Where? Here?
right here.
Okay.
Yep.
Both are here? Both are here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we will have it set up to stream though, so that those who can't make it, it will be streamed. You can watch on Facebook or YouTube as well.
6 p.m.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
30.
22nd and 25th, both at 6 p.m.
Where did I get 30?
And that's just the first two. Again, we'll kind of evaluate from there about setting up.
And we will share this out on
Yes.
our social
This is
media
why on
channels.
Facebook, again, the project hub, all the information will be in that one spot, easy for everybody. Thank you.
Mr. Main, do you have anything?
I do not.
Mr. Purtle?
No.
If there's nothing else to come before the board, we'll stand adjourned. Thank you.